I remember watching your podcast with Brigitte when she came over to Singapore. Is that how we say Brigitte, right?
Bridget, yes.
Bridget. I always say Brigitte. I love her. So anyways, I remember during that podcast, you talked about your mom and the inspiration, you know, the way that she inspired you because she was a single mom. So my question to you is, if you had to pick only one lesson that your mom taught you that will stay with you forever, like the one that I shared with you from my mom, what would yours be?
Well, this is something which is very common to a certain extent, which I've heard a lot of people talk about, but that is something maybe because that's what my mom had told me when I was very, very young. And that just sticks to me. It's not rocket science in any way. It's something which is very common, but she's always told me, if you can't say something nice to someone, don't say anything at all. It's better to actually just zip your mouth rather than say something which is hurtful, because words, once it leaves your mouth, you can never bring it back. And that's one lesson which has always remained with me. So that's my mom always you tell me that. So always, you know, don't say something harsh, negative to someone if you can help it, or just don't say anything. Don't say anything. If you've got nothing good to say, don't say anything.
So, yeah. That's where I'm going to say that. That's why I wrote the post on pause. I did a small video and I put up about pause, observe, and listen, because that's the choice. That's the mindfulness I'm finding in at least in Southeast Asia, in the business world. It's so acutely lacking. Executives, managing directors, CEOs just rattle off whatever is in the forefront of their head.
Yep.
The tip
frontal
of
lobe.
Frontal lobe. Without realizing, because words, Yusuf, absolutely, it's like a bullets out of a gun. Words are like bullets. When you say them, they shoot out and they will find a target. It might not be the target you want, but they will go and hit somebody. They're dangerous.
That's true. So now Joy is in the hot seat. So Lubna, your question for Joy.
I'm actually gonna make it. I'm gonna make it easy and make it more linked to work. You're in the field of marketing.
Yes, I am.
And if you were to meet, you know, a very inspirational CEO, you choose one. Who would it be, and what would be the top marketing lesson you'd like to share with him?
I think one of the gentlemen that I really do want to meet, Lubna, is Yusuf's idol, Richard Branson. This is the gentleman that actually, I've read his books, I've seen a lot of his stuff, and I actually follow. He's one of the very few global influencers that has an impact on me. And here's a couple of reasons. I'm British by legality. I'm Indian by ethnicity. I've grown up in various countries, 13 years in UK, 23 years across the Indian subcontinent. I'm so diverse that sometimes I find myself to be like a chameleon. Okay, why I shared that is Richard Branson's story is something resonates about a child, teens, what he wants to do. So if I were to meet him, I want to share how important is experience, because in marketing, after 30 years, what I play in is the moment the brand connects with you, there is an experience, an emotional feel that is happening. And this is where I love all of y'all who are storytellers, because I only wish I had even the S part to say a story. And we've got a very dear brother who's one of the best storytellers in this part of the world. And I'd like to meet Mr. Branson, Sir Richard, and share with him the impact his journey and his business philosophy has had in crafting my marketing approach where a brand is concerned. Everything else, all this digital marketing, messaging, community, all of those are tactics and pathways. The big picture, the strategic overview is you must connect with your heart. And
beautifully said.
But this is my interpretation of everything I see of Sir Richard from the outside. He's a gentleman who doesn't pretend to be or is like a CEO. He's a multi-millionaire who doesn't live like a multi-millionaire. I mean, how many multi-millionaires do we know going around in designer faded torn jeans, right? But how many billionaires do we know jumping off planes or doing charity work? So the lesson he's taught me is this: always connect with your heart. And this is where words become very important, video becomes very important. But when you connect with your heart, a business when it reaches out and does that, you are ensuring a legacy. Now, Mr.
Wow.
Branson would
Love that.
go away, and Virgin may not last another 20 years, given business vagaries, but I can tell you something. The brand identity and image and reputation of that name, Sir Richard Branson, will probably outlive for at least another 50 to 60 years. It'll definitely outlive Bill Gates, Elon Musk, and probably Warren Buffett. And I'm saying it live because this is going to go out. That's the impact this gentleman has had, and that's the CEO I really want to see.
Excellent. Let's tag him. Let's tag him when you post.
We would.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We'll do it.
We will tag him.
Yeah, if I may, that's from the developed world. And there is one other gentleman that is very dear in terms of business leadership that I have tried to learn of. His name is Ratan Tata, the ex-chairman of the Tata Group from India, which is a global conglomerate today. Another man who has led by action. Very little talk, much action. And here's the similarity with Sir Richard. If you look at both these men in different generations, walk the talk, to use jargon. They do and speak later. So those are the two CEOs. Oh, I'd love to have a chance to have a cup of coffee or even a dinner with them. Probably.
Hopefully one day soon.
God willing.
Awesome.
God willing. Absolutely.
Awesome. Lovely questions, Lubna, and thank you so much for your lovely answer there, Joy. So it brings us to the end of this new segment for all you listeners. Thank you once again.